Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the 100th broadcast of the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here at Apex Racing TV. We started here at Monza, and hey, we're still here on this, very special broadcast once again at Monza. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Jessica Ball with Marco Barbonera in the production booth, and hey, 100 races ago, we started the SLF broadcast here on Apex Racing TV, and we're still going strong to where it all began here at Monza. What a place it is, and what a time to be broadcasting this Formula 3.5 Championship. Jess, how you doing?
I'm really excited for this one. I can't believe we're joining at such a monumentous occasion. It is the Temple of Speed in Monza, and it's known for its true test of speed and passion. Stefosi as well are here watching as well. It's going to be a really great race, and I do remember last season's race very vividly. It was a photo finish for some of the battles towards the end of the race as well, and there was a infamous turn one crash, which we don't want to talk too much, and hopefully the drivers won't be reminded about that tonight. But we've got some familiar faces back in this grid as well. We've got Dennis Fairtime, he's back, and we got Tom Wedgwood back as well as the names that we've seen time and time again. Eddie Sambrowski, James Pinsker's also back, Paul Ilbrink, and lots of other names as well. I don't see Greg Olson's name on the list, so he's not here tonight. So we might see a new race winner.
Yeah, we might see a new race winner indeed. Well, yeah. But I do know that Petit Le Mans is going on right now, so some drivers are putting their time away to do that, and some drivers, well, they're probably still signed up with a team and Petit Le Mans as that's going on, and well, they put out time in their stint to come out here and take a break from either driving the LMP2, GT3, or GTE cars. And, you know, it's a good break. It's a good break, and I know a lot of these drivers are having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have to say, I've been watching a bit of Le Petit Le Mans as well, but it's really, really fun as well. But don't forget, 70% of the lap, usually the F1 cars, could be taken in full throttle around here. It is really a high-speed track. There's only a few braking zones heading into Turn 1, of course, where drivers have got to be very, very alert. And we've got the likes of Turn 4 as well, and that's pretty much it as well in terms of that. So there's plenty of drivers that want to gain huge potential on their lap times at the moment. We've already done 5 minutes of qualifying, and it's Pinsker that's setting the timing sheets alight at the moment with a 1:34.603. And then Paul Ilbrink closely followed with a time of 1:34.79. So very, very close between the top two right now. Yuki Shirakawa is in third and Eddie in fourth position. And we're seeing more people finish off their laps. We're currently running on board with Jorge Lopez at the moment in 13th position, as he's passed the Parabolica now. Let's see if he takes his shortest one to the line, actually. The line that I usually like to take around this track. What's he going to set? He jumps on to P8 with a 1:35.46.
Absolute beautiful lap and a beautiful final line, and I believe that is the lap that everyone tries to replicate at the end of the run. Just try to get as close to that green wall as possible. Just don't hit it like I have done so many unfortunate times. But we're not talking about me here. Also, things to realize, things to note. Some of the drivers are preferring high downforce versus medium downforce. Phil Shift is running a medium downforce wing. You can tell the difference between medium and high downforce by the angle of the wing. If it takes up all the side fences of the wing, it is a high downforce. If it just takes up a little bit, it's a medium downforce. And well, it's actually the high downforce cars that have a little bit of speed advantage here, as that is not the corner you want to go. This is
Track Limit Central.
Moore. Yeah, Track Limit Central and also Controversy Central if we were talking about another series. But thankfully we are not talking about that here. Though we haven't hit turn 1 yet at race speed yet, so I'm not going to open my mouth once again. 1 minute left in qualifying. Nathan Moore coming through the formerly known as Parabolica. Cross the start-finish line, put in a qualifying time. We'll put in a lap of 1:35.92. That keeps them in 15th.
Yeah, and I believe he's one of the last drivers on a lap, because I think Dennis is probably going a little bit slower pace at the moment, because he's not even showing green on his personal best in any of the sectors so far. So. And he's only 1.1 second off the pace. Oh, and you don't want to be doing that, my friend. So I'm guessing that is his lap over. So it will be James Pinsker. They'll be starting the race from pole position. Hopefully, Al has a better race than last season around here. But to be honest, you would really want to be starting at the front or at the back. You don't really want to be starting in the middle around Monza. So let's hope people survive turn 1, but not going to say too much here. The drivers are now gridding up.
Yeah, James J. Pinsker sits on top at pole position ahead of Paul Ilbrink, followed by Yuki Shirakawa, Edward Samborski, Dennis Folkheim, Juan Parada Jr., Javier Berengale, Jorge Lopez Exposito, Victor Bayola, and Oscar Riviola finishes out your top 10. Juan Gearbo and Tom Wedgwood in 12th place. They're followed by Phil Schiff and Rafael Bonificio and Nathan Moore, Mark Ponick, James Byrne, John Owens, Cal Young, Jason Sieg, and Jamie Byrne at the end of our 21 car grid.
Yeah, so many predictions to make, I think, around this circuit on who I think is going to come out on top. And I think it's just about the consistency, because I know with it being a high-speed track, the consistency is ever more powerful. And there may be some more instant points today due to the track limits, I think, because I've seen quite a few people cut in qualifying. So if they avoid that, then they should be absolutely fine. But good to see 21 cars taking the grid, and let's hope all of them will make it. But no pit stops, don't forget, in Formula 3.5 in these cars. So if they If they pit, that means they've got damage, and so let's hope that does not happen. But
yeah, damage is not going to be good around here. It will affect them. And you can see the assortment of downforces or wing configurations. Shirakawa's electing for that medium downforce for the race. But in qualifying, we saw a few of these guys go into the high downforce. But the medium downforce is where you want to be because you're so freaking fast in a straight line. It's going to make it impossible for other cars to make that gap up on you. We're going to find out who is going to conquer the 100th broadcast here for the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here on Apex Racing TV, as it's 5 red lights and it's green, green, green here at the Temple of Speed, and away storming out of the third gate, Yuki Shirakawa jumps into the leads. We're 3 wide heading into turn 1.
yes, let's see if they can all handle turn 1 nicely. Indeed, I think it looks like it's a lot better. Free abreast. Oh, yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Someone's taken the escape road, and if they didn't take the escape road, it probably would have been a contact there. But look at this. Paul Ilbrink in the race lead. But look at this. Yuki Shirakawa is going side by side, heading past the Curva Grande, and heading towards the chicane of turn 4. Beautiful run that he has done there. Into that corner, and he's into the race lead. Yuki Shirakawa in second. James Pitsker with a poor start, but at least he's surviving so far. But wow, turn 1 on lap 1, and everyone's got away unscathed. So I have to say, a lot better than last season.
Like it should always be. But beautiful start. Yuki Shirakawa off the line. Just beautiful. And we got chaos in the Lesbo too.
Soon.
And oh my God.
No.
No. Oh.
That is so many cars, I think, knocked out of that. I think Gerbow, Philip Schiff as well. That was just awful. I think that was one of the... Was that the second Lesmo? I think it must have been the second.
That was the second Lesmo. And oh my gosh. Well, lap 1 is in the books. The drivers out front have no idea what happened as they head through Curva Alboreto. The newly named Parabolica, but I'm watching the replay. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars involved in that opening lap crash, or behind at least.
Oh, James Pitsker for second.
Oh, hello, James. Oh, James gets tapped by Shirakawa. And just like, oh no, more cars are involved. We got cars getting airborne at turn 1, and luckily no cars are mounting each other. But that was a big hit. James J. Pitsker gets tapped at the end. More cars being backed up. And let's swing it on over to our Apex Racing TV replay and get a definite replay of that soon, as Tim Delisle has hopped into chat. They definitely moved turn 1 to the middle sector. Here's a replay of that. James Pitsker, DRS, down to the inside. Hard on some brakes, gets that move done. Just gets tapped right there. Gets
so
airborne.
Unlucky.
And
Very
then,
unlucky. And I think he hit Eddie as well. So
yeah,
James
Eddie
in the
came
pits. And
Eddie got there. Oh my
we got another move actually. We got Dennis third time, and I think it's Nathan. It might be. I'm just trying to see. It might be Victor Bola. Yeah, it's Victor Bola who's had a very good start.
Oh, Ascari. Oh gosh, no, Ascari.
No, not again, not again. This is going to be... It's looking like it's carnage central at the moment, but James Byrne is up into A position. We got Mark as well trying to hold. It could be 4 wide here into the Curva Alboreto, which hopefully does not happen. Someone has to back off, surely.
Oh no, they aren't going to back off. They're going to race through here, side by side.
This is absolutely amazing. Paul Ilbrink set the fastest lap of the race. Dennis Bergheim is limping over into the pit, which fair play. At least he's not going to give up by the looks of things. But here comes Javier Berenguer. Here he comes into turn 1. They're all going at it at the moment. People have to brake early. All 4 of them are going to make it unscathed.
Oh, Berenguer turns in a little bit early, gets turned around right there, and he comes back across, gives a little bit of a tap to one of the birds, and oh my goodness, this is just a chaos-filled race. Fires all over the place. I think Hades is in race control right now, because this is just hell frozen over. And I kind of all for that, but then again, I'm American, so this is cool.
I think we're already down like 5 drivers already, and we're only on lap 3. Come on, guys. This is meant to be Monza, but that's to be expected. So I'm not going to say anything more about crashes, and let's just focus on the rest of the race. So I'm just watching Paul Ilbrink at the moment. Gap 5.3 seconds, but the guy that we should be watching is Victor. As he tries to go on the left-hand side of Ascari, and beautifully controlled from him, and he's up into the podium positions. Incredible. We also have James Burn fighting with John Owens as well for P11, and we also got Avier, who's having a battle there up into 10th place, and someone that's just gone off the circuit. Here comes Victor then. Correa Barretta, they come then side by side. It's very brave to get a move down there.
Beautiful.
Absolutely amazing. Switch back they go, or is he going to the pits? I don't know. No, he's not going into the pits.
Back.
Switch back they come. Turn 1. Straight line speed.
Damage.
No damage either. They're huge respect. They're leaving as much space as they possibly can, and I'm just seeing reading people in the chat absolutely dumpster fire from Tommy Noble there.
It's gonna be tight. Watch out, Shirakawa gets a little bit of bump from Victor. Victor getting the elbows out. The lowest rated driver in the field, number 21, sitting up there in third. We might see Victor try to make another aggressive defense, but here comes Shirakawa down to the inside. Shirakawa and Victor. Victor gets early onto the brakes, and Shirakawa sends it up to the inside. Shirakawa back into third place, but Victor's not done with them yet, and look who's behind him. Moore is closing in as they head into the first of two. Lesmo's a little bit slow through there as Jorge Lopez is stopped in the K leader out in the secondary chicane.
That is not good at all, but look at this, we still got some more fights. Nathan Moore has gained quite a few positions in his race, up 10 positions, so is Mark Pornick as well. But this is the battle we got to be watching. Yuki Shirakawa versus Victor Bolea for the Ascari chicane as well, and I'm sure Nathan Moore would like to see any of those two make a mistake. He's just hanging in there at the moment in this back straight, which he could gain quite a lot of time, and most importantly, getting the all-important toe, which we haven't talked about in this race so far, because not many people needed it. I'm sure Nathan Moore's going to need it as he heads towards the final corner. Then was a little bit wide for good measure, but this is going to be a prime opportunity for a move. Eddie Zambroski's in the fastest lap of the race so far, so he's chasing a little bit, but not quite much. But here comes Nathan Moore. It's going to be free of breath going into turn 1. This is absolutely amazing. Hopefully all three of them is leaving much space they can. Victor to the left-hand side of our screens, and wow.
That was good. He hopped over the curb. He hopped over the curb to make that move stick, and he made a stick. He did. I'm surprised the car didn't jump, and here comes Nathan Moore. He's going to swing onto the outside of Shirakawa, but Shirakawa's got that inside line. He's got that draft. Here comes Nathan. Nathan's looking down to the inside. He sends it onto the brakes, and he's made that move work. Beautiful stuff by Nathan Moore, and he wants one more. He's looking for third right ahead. Paul Ilbrink will shot of him. 5 seconds clear of Edward Samborski, and I believe Ed might be limping just a little bit. I don't know if he actually has damage. I think he had a little bit of contact with another car, but I am not sure if he actually has damage or not. So we could get a little update on that, because Paul Ilbrink is just so clear of these, of every car behind him. And speaking of Paul Ilbrink, there is Paul. Hi, Paul. And yeah, he's doing fine. Now I'm going to stop talking about Paul, because every time I talk about him in the league for almost half of the Formula 3.5 broadcast that I've done, I've accidentally cursed him. So
to be honest, so have I last season, so that's why I'm going to shut up as well. So we have something in common, Austin, about this man who is being a veteran to this league, and we thank him for his support. But here comes Juan Guarado Jr. on for the move against Mark Pornick, then into turn 1. This should be easy, does it? And that was amazing. Again, a nice turn 1 move that he kept it controlled as well. It looks like Abier is chasing down, well, he's being chased down by Cal Young as well. But, there's a bit of a luck tap from Nathan Moore. That was so close to being a worse accident, but he rides the curves a little bit. Victor Bolea as they come to the first Lesmo. Now, Nathan Moore's not giving up. He wanted to go for that risk there into the first Lesmo, but he decided enough's enough, and he didn't want to get involved in an instant. And right behind this is Gesser. Yuki Shirokara is prancing and wanting to go for that move as well. And we also got the lights up, I think.
That's Parada behind them.
Parada and Ponic as well. So this is a big train.
Here
This
comes
is not the
Moore.
train. Nathan Moore to the left-hand side of the Ascari chicane.
they
But
went
almost
deep, though.
certain. He went a bit deep.
Moore's
I'm
got
sure.
Moore actually hit a curb. I think when they made contact in the Grana, they picked up wing damage because look at the front right wing of Nathan Moore. He's got front wing damage.
He does. So is he going to be limited to the pits? He's losing a bit of
He's not going to come into the pit. He is not going to come into the pits. It's so very minor. It's not going to be affecting him at all. But, you know, the only time when you really need to come into the pits here on iRacing is A, if your wing's missing, or B, meatball flag. Always respect the meatball. But
Wow.
this is a great move. Nathan Moore, he has control of this car, even with the wing damage, defending with a big lockup into the braking zone ahead of Bayola as they head into Curva Grande. Well, let's see if Moore defends onto the outside like Bayola did, or are we going to get another fishy moment again? He's staying over to the right. Here comes Victor down low. Victor big set into them. They almost make contact. There's a little bit of touch again. Up the edge, a big slide. Shirakawa gets to the fourth. He somehow saved that. There's a smoke show in these corners. This is not a Formula Drift event. This is Monza.
And I thought it was a rallycross event, not Monza. But there we go. But how did Nathan Moore save that? Because that almost could have been a crash, but
he locked up
car
the brakes
control.
immediately. He locked up the brakes, canceled the car, rotating itself, made sure all the tires are locked in. Then he got back onto, well, then he let off the brakes and let the rotation take back over. And, well, Nathan Moore, the Aussie, thinking on his toes right there, saving the best out of a worse situation. And still, he's having the best race out of all these drivers. He's up 10 spots where he started.
10 spots, that is crazy. Mark gained 9, so did Jamie Byrne down in 12th position as well. They were the ones that tried to avoid the carnage and it paid off, but Nathan Moore is at it again with a damaged front wing. He's still going for moves, and I have to say, if he keeps this up, he'll be one of my drivers of the races so far.
But he's already up there by statistically being the driver of the day, the biggest mover. Down to the inside, a little bit of a wiggle on the brakes, and oh my gosh! Carnage behind him, Shirakawa and Parada get turned around, and it looks like a WWE ring right now.
Yeah, we said that Yuki was doing well, and now he's down in 8th place. So we're sorry, Yuki. That's an example of a commentator's curse. Let's look at the replay then. Heading in towards turn 1.
So
and he might have lost it by himself. Here we go.
He got a bad line over the curb, and it looks like he was just about to lose it, and the car behind has got an absolute dinger of a run through the second part of turn 1. But, you know, on a hot lap, that would be fantastic, but in a race, don't want to be launching off that corner. That's way faster than the car ahead of you, and you're buried in its gearbox. Absolute unfortunate crash right there.
Yeah, if I did that on the F1 2021 game, I would have spun and had damage instantly. So you don't really want to be doing that in iRacing, my friend. But anyway, Paul Ilbrigg still leads by 5.5 seconds over Eddie Sambroski at the moment. They're really checked in at the front, but we're still watching, I think, Carl Young battling the likes of, I think it's Yuki Shirokara now as well. So I wonder if Yuki has lost a bit of time there as Cal is gaining a bit of time. So yes, Cal could gain a bit of advantage here. Heading towards the start, finish straight he goes. Can he take the shortest run, or is he going to sit behind for a slipstream? And I think he wants a slipstream because the toe is all more important at this track more than anything. The Tifosi are going wild for these two drivers, but Carl Young is forced to stay behind Yuki at the moment as they pass turn 2. Now heading towards the Curva Grande of turn 3 very, very shortly, and I'm sure Carl Young would want to send it up the inside into turn 4 maybe, or will he be forced to stay behind once more? I think we're in a few attempts actually. He's getting a beautiful run. Is he staying behind? Yes, he is. I think he doesn't want to go for a move just yet. But Carl Young doing an excellent job. But is he going to lose some time to the likes of Abier and Oscar ahead of them? But we'll see. We'll find out in a moment.
Yeah, and we're looking at this fight with Cal and Yuki Shirakawa. Yuki, well, he's got another car behind him. Theory in chat is that when he... Oh, that is Victor. No. Through a Scary, bouncing through the grass. This ain't a rallycross event. This ain't Baja. And let's see what happened right here. Victor was all on his own. The XPD Racing Motorsport driver got... Oh, looks like he tapped the... Oh, hello, curb. That is a jump.
And that is track limit central.
And that's a slowdown. And
Yep.
that is not the line you want to take as Victor falls down into fourth. Still a very good race for Victor, but I think the goal now is to try to get up into third place. As here is Yuki Shirakawa and in the fight with the 17 of Cal Young, who's up onto the inside. Cal, is he going to fight Shirakawa right here? Oh, yes, he is. He's taking the fight right there. Cal Young up into 8th place. Beautiful move down the inside.
Yeah, we're seeing some great moves up the inside there into 1 and 2. Crazy stuff because there is little margin forever. One small mistake and you'll probably end up in a flip or in the barrier or getting damaged. So great job stuff from them as well. Fastest lap on the track so far for the last lap was Nathan Moore. But let's watch Victor Bolia as a bit of a replay of what happens when you ride the curves. That is even more awful when you go on board. And that was a Valtteri Bottas mowing the lawn type of driver there for Ascari. He's going to get grass in his tyres.
You know, I
not
think
ideal.
he might have damage to his suspension, but we have to look at it. This is James Pinsker. James's car is not looking too good for wear. There is no engine cover, and I believe he realizes that. And
he's out of the race, I think.
He's retired out of the race, and James definitely not the race that he wants to remember. Paul Ilbrink, he's smiling his helmet right now. P1, 5.5 seconds behind him, and he's got Edward Samborski, fastest lap of the race, but Ed is so far behind. It's going to be a uphill battle right there. And then it's if you need to pull up the telescope for this. 17 seconds to P3. Wow. There hasn't been any rain. There hasn't been any tire shenanigans going on. This is not normal.
It's not real life.
Utter chaos from P2 down. This is insane.
Yeah, I think the only one to pretty much, I think Paul was the only driver that didn't get involved in the shenanigans.
And that's no. Yeah. I'm still thinking that something happened turn 1, lap 1, but no, it was just after the second Lesmo.
Carnage.
Everything happened. In front of the crash, behind the crash, in the commentator's box, outside of the commentator's box.
Everywhere.
In chat. I'm pretty sure somebody in Petit Le Mans felt that.
I think everyone felt that. Even the guys that are asleep right now have probably felt that. A bit of a shake. But anyway, Paul would have probably not felt that because he's leading the race at this moment in time. But I think the closest battle we've got on track could be quite a few drives. I mean, they're starting to find their feet a little bit.
It's Cal and Yuki, sir.
Cal and Yuki. I think we're getting to a stage with some of the drivers as well where they're busy the first few laps, quiet in the middle of the race, and then it will get even crazy towards the end. But for these guys, the likes of Carl and Yuki, they've been battling for pretty much 3 or 4 laps at the moment. They're doing very, very well, keeping the consistent lap time up as well. The fastest lap so far between Carl and Yuki is Yuki. So Yuki is the one that's pushing. And we also got the likes of Juan Parada in P10 at the moment, doing very well, even though he's dropped 4 places. But everyone else behind him has had a much worse race than him. So at least he can have his head held high for something as they all pass the Curva Grande. Now Carl Young gaining a bit of speed there on the straight, so that might help him a little bit. But Yuki is going to fight back then into turn 4, but he's not close enough to go on the attack.
Yeah, Cal's trying to catch up to Javier and Oscar ahead of him. And, well, if he continues like this, they're putting good laps as Yuki Shirakawa is trying to stay up there with Cal Young, but Cal is just stretching out those legs. Let's go back to our fight for 3rd place. Nathan Moore He's even on the straight. He's playing drafting games with Victor behind him, and Victor, we know on how quick he is. And Nathan, he's been struggling. He has that minor damage to that front wing, but it's not enough to really offset him. It seems like the car really works around it, but I can't really see where he got that damage from. But you know, we don't have time to search through 13 previous laps, and I can guarantee you it probably happened in the second Lesmo. I'm 90% sure of that.
Yeah, I'm almost certain of that as well. I think it's either turn 1, turn 4, Ascari, or second Lesmo. I think those are the main.
Those are the main bad areas of this track. I don't want to say bad; they're wonderful corners. Main incident places of this track. There we go.
Main watch zones as well. Like that incident could happen, but if they're careful, then hopefully not.
Yes. Yeah,
we're pretty much halfway in this race now. Lap 13 and 23 over halfway now. So still more action to go and fasten man on track. Best lap so far. I can't remember. I think
it's James.
It's
not James. It's Edward Samborski, not James J. Pacer. James Pacer's had it worse.
Yeah, and by 300 of a second.
Yeah, very tight up there at the top, but. You know, James is slowly pulling in.
Oh, she
has another spin. Philip is turned around right there. It's like a chicane. Looks like there wasn't any contact with any driver. Back to our fight for third place. Victor is closing in a lot on Nathan Moore, as Victor down the straight had the fastest sector 1. And look at this game that Moore is playing. He goes to one side of the track, goes to another side of the track, and back down to the inside, then gets back onto the racing line, just trying to maximize the time out of draft that Bola is stuck in behind him, but he is slowly being caught. And speaking of slowly being caught, Shirakawa down to the inside. Young goes.
Wow.
Young.
Let's look at the replay. So what does Carl Young do in the other outer curb then?
I think he just let him by.
Oh,
he slid. Oh, that's
he
not
went
a
wide,
let
a bit of a tank stopper.
He turned it a little bit too aggressively. The back end stepped out and he caught it. Somehow didn't get the car to snap. It looks so odd, but I guess when we changed the camera, it just looks so natural to what happened. But no, Philip Schiff lost the back end, saved it, and fell down to not Schiff. This is Cal Young we're talking about.
Cal Young is down to 9 now.
Tommy Noble in chat is really sad.
Yeah, Austin, pay attention to the race.
I'm paying attention to the viewers as well. They're telling great things as well. Like, you know, they're noticing
very
things.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true, but...
And they also like correcting me too, so, you know, they're there for my criticism.
Exactly. So keep your comments coming in. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Turn notifications on with the bell icon, and also like this stream if you're watching this live or watching this back. But if you're watching this back, you should watch it live. We're live every Saturday, 9:45 GMT, 10:45 UK time, 11:45 Central European time. And it's a great place to spend your Saturday evening, stroke Sunday morning if you're in Europe. Or it could be Sunday morning for some of you. And also make sure you follow us on Twitch and Instagram at Apex Racing TV. We've got a man on our hands. Here comes Cal Young on for, I think, Yuki again. 1:36.6 his last lap was, so he was pushing. And going wide in the last few laps doesn't seem to have bothered him very much. He's forgot about that and remembered about the rest of the race. Javier Beringel is up into 6th position as he got past Fabiano. There's more battles happening. As soon as one person battles, boom, there's more battles happening around the field.
We technically got 4 battles out here on track right now. It's the battle with Jamie Byrne and John Owens for 11th right here, and they got a good fight. But I said the fight that we all want to see is this fight for 3rd. Nathan Moore and Victor Bola behind him. Victor in the draft, looking out of the draft. Nathan doing aggressive defending and positioning. And this is really really tightening up because Moore is limping down these straights. He does have that front wing damage. It is minor, but it's still damaging, and it's allowing Victor to still catch up to him to make that maiden podium here on the Formula 3.5 Championship. Just see that graph of time is just constantly going down. It was 2 seconds on lap 9, and now here on lap 14, it's with half a second. And he had that little mistake through the Alboreto curva Alboreto.
I think we're used to saying that now as well, but look at this. I think Victor's gained on the straight in turn 1 and 2. And we're saying we've got a battle for first. It's like a battle for P3 at the moment, right now, between Nathan Moore and Victor. I think the top two are checked out, but Eddie has gained a bit on Paul Wilbrink, about 2 tenths last lap, so good on him as he's looking to solidify P2. And they're riding the curves, aren't they, these two? Any small mistake and that could be sending them into the shallow realm, as Balea almost got Nathan Moore there as well. Nathan Moore is defending for his life right now. He knows that Victor is quite fast, but Nathan is faster than him by just a few hundredths this lap, so he knows he's got to keep that uptrack consistency, and then he should be fine, because you don't get points until the end of the race. And it's not about where you start, it's not about where you are in the middle of the race, it's not where you are right here, right now, it's where you finish. And he knows that we've got Mark, who's every moment that Nathan and Victor are just holding position, the more time the guys behind are catching up.
I find it weird that Victor's not following Nathan as he does his very aggressive defense. I think Victor is just biding his time. He knows he can't catch up this second, so what he's doing is just letting Nathan just defend, stay behind him and defend until the very last lap, and that's when we're going to be seeing Victor make his move, because Victor knows he's much faster than Nathan Moore right now, and he's just staying back there, and he's going to try to win this in the corner and not win this on the straight. But Nathan is really throwing everything out of the bag, and trying to keep Bayola behind him. And the best way he's doing that is to really just get out of the way and break off that draft. But I feel like it's a sign that Bayola is the favorite to get third.
Yeah, he is. I think he's gaining more time per lap, and to be honest, he's keeping that consistency, which is all more important here at Monza in the Temple of Speed, which has been around quite early on, and it was one of the first races of Formula 1, just like Silverstone, so it's had some very proud history. Many modifications of the track layout since its inception, of course, to make it safe for the drivers to race at, and it's made it a hell of a lot more exciting. And we're riding on board with Oscar Rabiella in 7th at the moment, but he wants P6, and we've got the fastest lap by Eddie Sambrowski, 1:35.866. He means business right now, and there's only 2 drivers in the 1:35s at this moment in time, but they're the fastest lap. That is Paul Wilbrink and, of course, Eddie. So Eddie's the second man to join that club. But here comes Abiy Berignel riding on board with him, and he's in 6th position, and he's got Reviella right behind him.
Looks like Bayola and Moore swap spots as well. Berignel, the beauty of a move, and Nathan Moore is off the track, and he's fallen down to 5th. What's happened here? Well, they're playing the snake game down to the inside.
Aggressive defending.
Very early onto the very late. Oh, he got turned! He got turned! Oh, no, you don't want to see that. Well, the rule goes, if you're defending like there's no tomorrow and just going way out there.
That is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking for both involved.
Then again, in NASCAR, where I'm from, I'll admit it, I love NASCAR at times. If a guy does that and is just being kind of obnoxious on the straights, he kind of deserves it. But in open wheeler racing, you don't want to do it.
No. You definitely don't. So,
you don't want to do it.
No.
But kind of deserved.
Oh, God. Austin has been in, I think, a very wicked mood tonight, I have to say. But the guy that's not in a wicked mood is Paul, but you can see that Eddie is catching, and the race is not over until it's over. But he's just chilling there in first place. He probably didn't know that a lot of shenanigans has happened on behind him. But he doesn't care. He's got a race to win, potentially, as we're heading towards that 20 very, very soon. But here is Javier being chased by Oscar, heading towards turn one.
Oscar let off the brakes early. He didn't want to race him into there, and so he's just going to stay behind him. They're closing in on Nathan Moore, and well, this is going to be a very interesting fight because Oscar, he's playing the game. He's waiting for that last lap because he's just been sitting in that draft this entire time. And these two are very close, a little bit too close for comfort right there. Big lockup for Oscar Raviola, and all that work has not paid off. A little small mistake, and well, he's got another gap to try to catch up to him. But good news for Raviola, Moore is right ahead of Beringale, and Moore still has that front wing damage. Are we going to be seeing Moore try that aggressive defending again?
Bring it on. I think if people are going for aggressive defending, they're probably going to wait until near the end of the race, but it might be too little too late. But let's hope it doesn't end in tears, I have to say. So, poor as Carl Young almost exceeded track limits then, but he was absolutely fine as he's been chased by Yuki once again. They just can't catch a break, even if they went off a little bit. They just can't catch a break between these two, but I'm sure they must be having a lot of fun, but they must be under huge pressure to try and deliver every single corner of every moment of the track when they know they've got a few moments left of this race. But Yuki, brilliant straight line speed. Turn one they go. Can it be a hero moment for Carl Young? He holds on. He knows Yuki's catching. Look at this. Curva Grande coming up. This may be the move that Yuki's looking for. Or
he's too far back. He is too far back to even look for a move. But Cal Young is not taking any chances. He knows Yuki Shirakawa loves to send it. And Yuki Shirakawa knows that as well. Because he's Yuki Shirakawa, and that's Oscar Aviola. That's a missing front wing. That's a lot of damage. Such devastation. What has happened to Oscar? I believe we saw a lockup last time. Is this another lockup? No lockup, but too much mustard off the exit into the safety barrier. And iRacing goes and takes his front wing.
There we go, and that's his race over. Just like that, you just can't become complacent like that. And that's where your race has ended a little bit. So, that can mean anything in the iRacing world, especially in the championship, which is so close right now. And there's so many other races that people can get involved in this Formula 3.5 series. There's so many chances for people to score as much points as they can. But I'm sure that every point counts. So Yuki would want to get that move. Nathan Moore set personal best is that 136.175. And but everyone else is a little bit further back on pace to try and catch up to him.
Yuki. Oh, Yuki, look, the big lockup for Cal Young. That's what Yuki Shirakawa wanted. Cal Young murders those braking boards. He's going to have to serve that slowdown penalty, and there he is, slowing up. Is he going to be staying on the outside? Here comes Shirakawa through Curva Grande. Cal Young getting back onto the power. They're going to be meeting right there, but Shirakawa waltzing away into P7. He was racing him, and he forced the big mistake, but Shirakawa's messed up the secondary chicane, and now Cal Young's back in the 7th. What is this race? What is going on? Why am I yelling?
I did say it would get crazy towards the end of the race, and I wasn't.
Piranha second Lesbo down the inside, up into 8th. He's going to try to chase Young.
I think with everyone making mistakes now, it's all about who's going to make the least mistakes, and look at that. Paul Ilbrigg just set a statement right there, 135.742, and he just set the fastest lap of the race by 1/10. Crazy. And
Absolutely nuts.
And I believe Eddie set his personal best the last lap as well.
He did.
That's crazy.
This is an absolute crazy race, and Schiff and Ravala are still fighting. Ravala, no. They're in the pits. They're having a little timing off. I think. Well, they might be pulling a Ricky Bobby. No, I got into the pits first. My pit's ahead of yours. No, my pit's ahead of yours, and you know we'll go over to that bar fight. I'm not sure, but you know that should be interesting to see. Yep. I don't know how you're swapping spots in the pits, but I think, yeah, Schiff's out on track. Philip Schiff has got his car out onto track right now to take the spot from Ravala. That's
points
hey,
mean
it's about
points.
Yeah, it's about any point. So Philip Schiff, hey, good on you for getting that car repaired.
How long did it take? Because I can't remember how long it took. I would like to see as well, and it shows that you just do not give up. And Philip Schiff has finished the races in worse results than that, so that's probably why he's carried on. So Paul Ilbrink is about to go on to the final lap soon, so everyone will be shown the white flag. There we go. And not going to say too much about him, the number 3 driver, who has been faultless throughout the entirety of the race. And again,
still got a lap
consistent. He's being consistent.
Still got a lap left. Come on.
I know.
Do this to him.
Yeah,
Don't do this to him.
I won't. It's absolutely fine, but there's still battles behind him. We've still got to watch. Here comes, I think, Carly, and I think it's Juan Parada into the Alvaretta curve. Alvaretta, however you want to call it, I don't care, but I prefer it Parabolica. I always like to call it Parabolica, even though it's not called Parabolica.
Parada's lined up for the move. DRS wide open, but that is not going to be enough. Here comes Parada around the outside. Side by side, down the front straight, heading into the first chicane. Who's going to be the last late breakers right here? Parada with the car lead advantage right there, heading into the corner. Absolutely nails that down right there. Now Parada, he's got to get defensive. He's got to have eyes on the back of his head. He's got to become snake eyes right here, because here comes Cal Young. Cal wants that P7. He doesn't want to be overtaken into turn 1. And here comes Parada defending onto the inside. Cal around to the outside, heading to the secondary chicane. They both go over that first curve, then the second curve, not the one that you want to hit. There's still nose to tail right now, heading into the first and second Lesmos. Parada, Young, nose to tail into the first and second chicane, but it coming through the Parabolica for one last time. Paul Ilbrink, home of the most podium finishes in all of the Formula 3.5 series, takes another one home and takes the 100th race victory here on Apex Racing TV. Cal Young swings it around to the outside of Parada. Parada, Cal Young side by side through Ascari. And look at the defense by Parada. Held it through there. Now he's on to the inside. But here comes Cal Young. It's a drag race on the back straight, heading in to the Parabolica. It's going to be side by side, nose to nose, tail to tail. There's not going to be separating them. Around the outside goes Cal Young. Cal with a great line through there. Cal Young, last corner, last lap, last pass, P7. What a move. What a race.
Wow, I think you probably lost your voice by then, and you've still got commentary to do tomorrow on Apex Racing TV, so good luck with trying to find your voice there, Austin, but I enjoyed that race. It was a lot of fun. Carnage at the end, but it was one man that probably really much was the only driver that made no mistakes. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, absolutely perfect races. We can talk about Paul from the start. What an amazing race by Paul Ilbrink. He knew where exactly to be, and what a better, like, he's been here since pretty much the start of the series on Apex Racing TV. Him and Edward Samborski, fantastic race. And well, these top two, they've been on the podiums so many times, but there's one driver who has not been on the podium. Number 21, Victor Boella. What a phenomenal race by him. Up 6 spots from where they started, but if you look at the number, this is the lowest number in the field, and you get your number in iRacing by your I rating. He was technically the lowest I-rated driver, and he gets 3rd. What a fantastic race. And they're followed by Mark Ponnick, Nathan Moore, Javier Berenguel, Cal Young, Juan Parado with the beautiful fight to the line for 7th. Followed by Yuki Shirakawa, Jamie Byrne, Tom Wedgwood, John Owens, Dennis Forkheim, James Byrne, Philip Schiff, who, hey, gets home in 15th after repairing his car to jump Oscar Raviala, James Pinsker, Jorge Lopez, Juan Gibral, and Rafael Bonifacio, and Jason Sieg at the back of our 21 car grid, the 19, 20, and the 21st. All of them were involved in that massive crash at the start, which, that's going to go down in history as not the best lap one. And probably the biggest Formula 3.5 crash we have seen on this broadcast. So, historic.
Yes. And don't forget, there was Hockenheim last season in the opening round. That was even more crazy.
There. I wasn't there. So it doesn't...
Well, I witnessed it, and it was crazy. My first ever full-time commentary gig at Apex Racing TV, and that was witnessed by that carnage. And there was like 6 or 7 cars out of the race in that moment. And I was shocked.
Speaking of witnessing, our man who won it here today has witnessed it from start to current times here on Apex Racing TV, taking the 100th victory here from lights out. Well, pretty much lights out to finish at the end of lap 1. He had a commanding lead. Paul, congrats on the win, buddy.
Thank you. Although I don't think my lead was commanding at the end of lap 1 yet, but
it felt okay at the end of at least lap 3.
Oh yeah, after the first chicane on lap 1, lap 2, yeah.
Yeah, there was a joke in chat that said Lesmo 2 is actually turn 1 now from that carnage. How was that race, and what was going through your head on that start? And how do you feel about these, clutch starts that people are trying to do now?
I don't know. Like the race, I started on like the front row, but seeing that Yuki was like in P3, I was counting on being P3 myself before turn 1. But I don't know, like my start was like pretty decent, like not anything special, not a clutch start or anything, but I think it was pretty decent. And I don't know if Yuki didn't have a really great one, but I expected him to launch like better, but maybe it's the medium downforce that makes it less beneficial or something. But yeah, we're kind of like 3 wide going to turn 1. We were going into it 2 wide, and he took it quite easy. So coming out of it, I was like could defend into the second chicane, and from there on, controlled the race, I guess. Like James and Yuki were still close behind me at the end of the first lap, but then they had their incident in the first chicane, and from that point on I had like a 5-second gap and pretty much controlled it from there on.
Yeah, and with this being the 100th broadcast here on Apex Racing TV, is this win a little sweeter than some of the rest?
I guess in a way it's like nice to do it in a special memorable race like this one, but just any win like against these great competitors is nice, so yeah, I'm enjoying them all.
Well, you are home to the most podiums in the Formula 3.5 series here on Apex Racing TV, so who better to go to than you? But before we let you go, Paul, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, everybody racing in this nice series, you guys for doing the broadcast, and my teammates at Verticals Online and our partners and sponsors, Armor Centrum, Grand Theft Simulation, Track Racer, Joe Real Timing, Turn Racing, MLTF Podcast, Six Sideways, and Pixel Dust.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. Congrats on the win. You have yourself a good night. Let's throw it over to Jess, who is standing by with Eddie Samborski, who, well, he had a lot to say about that start.
Yes, indeed. Eddie, congratulations. Much better race from you, but it could have ended in tears in the opening few laps. Talk to us what happened.
Well, you saw I had a little bit of wheel spin, so that was unfortunate. I'm going to watch the replay, figure out what I did. I got to get this sorted out. For turn 1, I messed up and understeered behind Dennis, so I threw a pinch on another driver, I believe is Javier. Hopefully I pronounced it right. So I apologize for him because it wasn't intentional. It was just me trying not to crash. Then I thanked Juan for leaving me room in turn 2 because he backed off so I could run out wide. And then from there, I had to get a move on. So I was being hyper aggressive. I mean, I had to just get to the front quickly because I know from experience that once you lose touch, that's it. I mean, I tried my hardest to catch Paul. I mean, I made like a second up. So, you know, if you lose that time early, then you're kind of out of luck. And all I gotta say is I drove through the parting of the seas there. Not to make any specific references, but I mean, there was a car to my left, a car to the right, and one stopped in front of me, and all I could do was stop and hope I didn't get hit. And luckily, no one hit me. So I like to thank people for not hitting me because that was fantastic, you know.
I think you can thank the gods on that one, I think, as well. But then after that, I was pretty much plain sailing for the rest of the race. But I saw that you were catching up to Paul Ilbrig, but knowing that he was out of reach, was your focus of getting the win, or did you focus on just maintaining P2 at that point?
No, I never gave up. I kept thinking one mistake and I can close up on him. You know, if he has an issue with the lap route, doesn't let him by immediately. So I just kept going. And I made a lot of mistakes. I had a couple unforced errors. The Phillip shift, I believe, went off in front of me, and that completely distracted me because I just saw gravel and I saw a car in the barrier and I lost focus and I about wrecked the car, so I lost a second there, give or take. And then I did a couple unforced errors in a turn 1 where I about spun the car locking the brakes up. It's hard to see on the broadcast, but if you could hear my audio, you could hear me like pedaling the car, you know, like hitting the brakes, letting off, hitting the brakes, let off. And I mean, I was trying. It's tough. They're not, you know, Paul's not slow, and you know, to make up a second on Paul is pretty good. I'll tell you that much. That doesn't happen often. So I'll take that as a victory. And congrats to Paul for winning our 100th broadcast race. I mean, he deserved it. He drove great, stayed out of trouble.
Yes, and both of you been there since the very start as well, and hopefully to see you do well next week in Hungary. But before we go, anyone would you like to give a shout out to on stream?
Yeah, absolutely. The drivers who did not hit me today. Thank you. We'll leave it there.
There we go. Thank you, Eddie. Congratulations on your P2. Excellent effort, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Sounds like a plan. I'm looking forward to it. That place is, it reminds me of Bristol from the old side of stuff. There's going to be some beating and banging, I think. It's going to be interesting.
It certainly is going to be interesting. Thank you, Eddie, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the 100th broadcast here on Apex Racing TV of the Formula 3.5 Championship. What a crazy race it's been, and I can certainly tell you the 101st, like Eddie said, is probably going to be even crazier, and I cannot wait for it. I've been joined by Jessica Ball in the commentary booth with Marco Bobaderi in the production booth as well. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.